Just introduce yourself so I can see the audio levels.
Hi. You can see the audio levels?
Yeah, I can see the audio levels.
My name is John Paul. I like to lift. Lifting is my favorite.
So much branding.
Works good?
Yeah, looks good.
All right. My name is John Paul Kauke. I'm a strength and powerlifting coach in Melbourne, and I'm based in the western suburbs. And we're currently sitting in the Strength Fortress, which is this, my new facility, which I'm really happy with. And it's a powerlifting specific gym. So I first got started in powerlifting probably about 5 years ago, so 2012 now. Before that, I was doing a whole bunch of other sports like a lot of people do through their juniors. I was involved in track and field, I coached track and field, I was involved in football, and I coached a little bit of football, not very much, Australian rules. And I was a bit small for Australian rules football, so I had to get in the gym, get stronger so I could deal with the senior football players. And I quickly discovered that I liked lifting weights more than I liked running around on a football field. So I just pursued that, I guess, more thoroughly and with a bit more commitment. Towards the end of 2012, I discovered powerlifting and I decided that I wanted to do a competition. I had no idea what I was doing, I didn't have a coach, I didn't have any direction, I didn't understand the rules, I didn't understand what I was supposed to wear. I personally did my first competition in February 2013. I didn't do very good. I think I made 5 attempts out of 9. Didn't know the rules, didn't know when to warm up, I didn't understand anything, but I had a blast and it quickly became my life. Later that year, I ended up going to the World Championships somehow, and I've been to 4 powerlifting World Championships since, so 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2016. In 2014 and 2015 I won as a junior in the 66 kilo category, and in 2015 the world was in Finland and I broke the world record squat and world record deadlift and world record total, I think at the time, as a 66 kilo lifter. So that's probably the highlight of my junior career. Last year as an open lifter, so open age, I broke the deadlift world record at 66, the open world record, which was 282.5 kilos at 66. So when it comes to powerlifting, I think one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people have when they first start powerlifting or when they first introduced to what powerlifting is that they don't understand that powerlifting in of itself is a sport. The analogy that I use is you run, but that doesn't make you a runner. You know, like you wouldn't call yourself a runner unless you were competing in marathons or doing even fun runs. Like, you know, if you weren't doing those things, you wouldn't be classified as a runner. You'd need a sport-specific coach, and the same principle applies in powerlifting. You need a sport-specific coach. I know lots of really good strength and conditioning coaches. I know lots of great strength coaches. I know a lot of good movement coaches that can train their clients to be really strong, right? To have really big lifts, really strong lifts in the squat, in the bench press, in the deadlift. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to perform really well in a powerlifting competition where you have to conform to a set of rules, where you have to jostle for position, where there is a competitive nature to the sport. And in Australia specifically, we really lack, I guess, knowledge and experience and professionalism when it comes to competitive powerlifting coaching. So in my experience traveling to various international competitions, world championships, I couldn't help but watch countries like Russia, like Kazakhstan, like Norway and Sweden, right? And even America, right? Very professional approaches. The national level coaches are liaising with the athletes that they might not coach themselves, but they liaise a month out, 2 weeks out, a week out. They watch training footage. They plan attempts and warm-ups thoroughly. They know the competition that they're dealing with. It's very formal. And as a result, these countries do really well. Obviously Australia, we're actually quite competitive considering our small population, but we're just not formal enough in our approach. So I guess what I want to do in powerlifting is, on the national level and international level, I want to be able to guide how Australia approaches our coaching, right? Approaches our competition. Like, you know, one thing that Australia struggles for is, say, for example, funding or recognition from the Australian Sports Commission and all these things. We have the potential to do so, but we just haven't been doing it because we're just not professional enough. So I guess that's my goal, and that's what I want to change is, you know, when you go to a Worlds or when you go to a Oceanias or whatever the level of the competition is, international level, it's formal, it's structured. And that's what I want to be able to do is create a sense of professionalism. So when you go out and represent the country, you know, you're wearing your soft suit with pride, and you know you've put in the hard work, and you know that the coach that's watching you knows you, like, you know, like the back of their hand, and they're committed to you and they're dedicated to you because on a personal and selfish level, they want to see you succeed, but in the grand scheme of things, they want to see success because it's good for the country and it's good for Powerlifting Australia and it's good for growth of the sport domestically. And I guess that's what I want to change. That's what I want to change in terms of the culture of powerlifting. Yeah. I guess that's the big picture.
MVP, 09 all the way to 16. Even next season looking like a breeze. A lot of y'all ain't built for the league. Yeah.